week's episode, we talk about good and bad concerts, and Nick Woods from Direct Hit calls in.
Welcome in once again to Punk Rock Foodies Radio, coming at you live from downtown Mattersville at the Vicious Pig Saloon. This is your one-stop shop for everything punk rock and food. And now, your hosts, Steve Guerrero, Skate Rat Betty, Brian Reinhardt, and the asshole in charge, Xander T.
That was Swan Dive by Strung Out. You are listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio, coming at you from the Vicious Pig Saloon in downtown Mattersville. I am Xander T, the asshole in charge of Punk Rock Foodies. And with me today is...
Steve Guerrero, calling in from the West Coast.
This is Brian Reinhardt in the Midwest, but we're all in Mattersville.
Yeah, it's all Mattersville.
Yeah, we're all in Mattersville.
Where we're from, you know. We all make our way down to Mattersville, you know. It's a good place.
But yeah, I'm here this week. Sucks for you guys. I'm here.
And it sucks even worse, Skate Rat's not.
So, I know, God.
So, you know what it's like when it's a boys' night.
The actual talent is not here.
I know, right?
Yeah. So you know you're all in for a treat.
Mm-hmm.
You can tune out now.
So this episode's about penises and balls.
And drawing penises.
Yeah. So when I draw penises, I like to make them really big. How do you guys like to draw penises? Because I like big, long ones. Yeah,
I've got
big
a
old
one-line technique. I've got it down. So I never it's one line.
You're the artist. You're the artist.
A lot of Etch-a-Sketch time.
Yeah.
And I make them on the Etch-a-Sketch. They're boxy.
It was actually when I was in college. Me and my buddy would go. We had a night Spanish class, and when the windows would get a little glossed over, like the dew at nighttime, you just go and draw dicks on all the windows, and then like you'd see another like the next couple of days, you'd see it dry on there, and just be like yes.
The dust.
Is that fair that you had a Spanish class when you were in college?
Dude, we take English. We take
Fuck!
English.
Yeah. Well, it was an upper division, and I had to learn how to write it. So now I can write my memoirs in English or Espanol.
Well, for those of you who don't know, Punk Rock Foodies is a Facebook group where you make food and you take a picture of that food, then you post that picture to that group, and we all look at it and we smile.
Hopefully in a collage app if you have it.
Collaging is amazing. It's the greatest thing. I don't have to see the same fucking picture.
It really helps us, you guys, if you use collage apps. It really helps.
I have recently been getting very pissed off in the mornings.
I noticed
people that post. Well, they're posting like a picture of their chili in the pot and then their chili in the bowl. It's the same fucking picture.
This was before I posted. This is before I poured it, and this is after the pour. Different flavor.
It's like just one of them's good enough, ass.
Here's where I added cheese, bro.
But at least we don't have a lot of people doing like, here's the green pepper. Here's the first cut of the green pepper. Here it is sliced up. Here it is chopped.
That's why I injured my finger cutting it.
But yeah, so you make food, you post a pic, final product. Describe it, let us know what it is.
Maybe tell us what you're listening to. Facebook allows you to do that.
Yes,
I'm always listening to tunes when I'm cooking. So
yeah, I've got my Sunday mornings seem to be Corey Brandon. Maybe it's because it's a nice mellow hangover music.
I was blasting Guar when I was making breakfast yesterday.
Nice.
It was nice and quiet. Nice and laid back.
Yeah, so we are into punk rock, so we're going to listen to some music, and we're actually going to talk about some music today. So,
all right.
Who would like to send us off with a song?
I got a track. I think most of the listeners by now know that my favorite band's Pennywise, and earlier last month,
Pennywise?
I love Pennywise. Love me some Pennywise.
Can't believe it.
And earlier last month, I went and saw their Palladium shows, and they played Homeless, which they haven't played in 20 years, and it was fucking mind-blowing. So here's Pennywise, Homeless, Punk Rock Foodies Radio. Let's go! With all these people right around, with all these people in the
because there's not enough income and too much poverty. Can't you live a life for us to see where we belong? Hope it goes away. It's hard to live a life and you live it every day. I like to see, I like to say, I like to hear that happens on the way. necessary. Messing up, cause there ain't no choice or any other way. Since you got nowhere to go, you got nowhere to go. You're burning up all your love, you're burning up all you save. Feed the fire to rid the head wreck from desire. Waiting for life for dark of blood. Out for blood by any means necessary. Trade your trust, if it meant that you would always get your way. Or to sell your soul, or to sell your soul. You burn up all your love, you're burning up all you save. Feed the fire to rid the head away from desire. Fading full, burning down the fire. Rid the head away from desire. Fading full, life for darker blood. You let it all slip away, burned up all that you saved. To rid the wreckage inside the brain, there's no care anymore. The judging hours cold to put us all in place. Trade that fire to gratify, burning, fading, burn. Rid the fire, rid the head away from desire. Fading full, burning down in fire. Rid the head away from desire. Fading full, life for darker flood.
Okay, so that was a band from Gainesville, Florida. I've been accused of playing too many Illinois bands. And so that was Hot Water Music with a song called Paid in Full, one of the best tracks. And let me tell you something, that dude can sing. If I had a voice like that, I would have gotten a lot more chicks than I did when I was younger. Which is
Chuck
basically
Reagan's a hell of a singer.
Dude, that dude's got some pipes. I mean, he can belt it out, and that is a great band. Very underrated. They've been around for a while, and people kind of forget that they're out there, but they are. That is off an album called Exister, which is, to me, a classic American punk rock album of recent vintage.
Well, he's doing his solo thing a lot lately. I actually recently had an opportunity to see him. It was the weirdest thing. There was like Laura Jane Grace was doing a solo thing on Valentine's Day, and the next day was Dave Hawes was in D.C. Or no, the Loved Ones were in D.C. And that same night was Chuck Reagan. And it was like, I was in such a quandary of who to go see. And I ended up not seeing either. So,
Dude, do you know that that band, The Falcon, that I've talked to? I know we listen to The Falcon. You know Dave Hawes is in that band now.
yeah, I saw that.
That's crazy. Like,
Dave,
there's
it's Brendan Kelly, Dan Andriano.
and Neil Hennessy, I think, is the drummer from Lawrence Arms, Smoking Popes. But anyway, I was looking at him like, oh, they got a new album. And they're like, oh, Dave is in there now. That's pretty cool. That's like a super group.
Isn't the album like Get Your Chaps or something like that?
Dude, I've only heard like one song. It's awesome, but I gotta go get it. I mean, their stuff is the thing about them is it's like the Lawrence Arms, where the song titles are like 15 words and hilarious. Like each song title is funnier than the last. So,
well, it's like Dillinger 4. Dillinger 4 has their song titles like 10 words, but they don't put any spaces, so it's like one long word, like like a hashtag.
Yeah. That is absolutely. That was the first band that I ever saw that really did that. I forget what's the name of the album. The one with the guy in the gorilla suit on the front. That is an awesome album. And all the song titles are fucking hilarious.
Yeah. That's oh shit. I can't remember.
Me either. Oh well, people have Google. The people can listen to this and do the Google thing. So what are we What are we talking about?
Situationist comedy. Situationist comedy.
Yes. That's what it is. Yeah, that is to me, that is. We got to play some songs off of that album one of these times, because we should have a whole episode around that album. It is, to me, so good, underrated, and came out of nowhere.
I think that album's really good to listen to, like, straight through, because the songs kind of bleed into each other. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's hard to
It's a
say
good
I like
driving
this.
album. Like, if you're on the road, like, long distance, just pop that record in. It is fucking awesome. So, what are we talking about this week? I don't even know what we're doing.
Well, music, it sounds like.
Yes, yeah, music. We like music. Music's good.
Well, you were talking about some shitty shows that you've been to in the past, so we thought maybe that'd be a good one.
Oh, yeah.
We talk about
best,
some of the
best shows and worst shows we've been to? Okay, which one do we want to do first?
Let's do best shows.
Okay.
And then the next segment we'll do worst shows, because that'll be more fun.
Okay.
And we'll be drunk.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think there's a lot of layers to this. There can be maybe visually the best show you've ever been to, the best unexpected show where all of a sudden some band comes up and you're like, wow, this is really good. For me, the first, probably the...
And then festivals have a whole different level.
That's
of
a whole
like,
different feel.
So.
Yes. I would say the best, just like visual experience, just all around, music, just everything, would definitely be any time I've seen Gwar. And it's the second time we've talked about Gwar this week. Every show they kill somebody. I saw them kill Mitt Romney the first time I saw them. They eviscerated him on stage, cut him up, and cut his head off. And then the second time they killed Snooki from Jersey Shore. They brought her out and they cut her. It was when Snooki was pregnant, so they cut her open and ripped the baby out and was like swinging the baby around the stage, and then they cut her throat. It was really good family fun for everybody, and they're just so funny. And they actually killed Jesus the second time I saw him. I saw him at Riot Fest in Chicago, not long before Dave died. They killed Jesus midway through the show, and then 5 songs later, Jesus came back as giant metal zombie Jesus, like this 20-foot robotic Jesus came back, and then they had to fight him again and kill him again. And I remember a few people in the crowd just weren't ready for that. They're just like, wow, this is sacrilegious. I'm like, what did you think you were getting into when you were going to see Gwar? What do you know about Gwar that tells you that it might be subtle? You know? And that was like months before Dave Brocky died, so it was one of the last shows with Odorous. But it was just fucking hilarious, because those guys are so funny. You know, like half the show, or like a third of the show, they talk more between songs than NoFX. And we all that NoFX will just read you a book between songs.
Who knows? They might do that now on this hepatitis bathtub tour.
That's
right.
Actually
read their book.
Oh boy, I gotta get that book actually. But so yeah, for me, not like my favorite show ever, but like the best show I ever saw to see and experience was Gwar. Anytime I've seen them.
Well, that's sounds like a good time.
It was fun.
Steve, I'm sure you've gone to some amazing fucking shows, especially growing up out there, Hermosa Beach area, and with your boys Pennywise. Everybody.
Steve is close personal friends with Pennywise, by the way, for all the listeners.
Yeah, and you know we might. I don't want to. I don't want to say anything.
Yeah.
Under your hat. I'm lucky. You know. Yeah, definitely living in Southern California. I've lived in Redondo Beach, and I live in Orange County. So there's always been great bands coming through here. You know, we have House of Blues Anaheim. Seeing Bad Religion 30-year anniversary there. That was amazing because they came out. They said one thing between songs. It was great graphics. Like, we don't have time to talk between songs. We're playing 30 songs for you guys tonight for our 30th anniversary. Here we go. And it was like anesthesia. And it was just like, fuck, dude.
Nice.
Just ripping everybody's face off, you know? Another show I saw there that was amazing was NoFX with Strike Anywhere opening up. And, dude, if you guys have a chance to see Strike Anywhere, that lead singer,
they're awesome.
The energy of that lead singer is fucking phenomenal, man. I seen him there, and I saw him at the Troubadour open up for Rise Against back in the day.
I wish I'd seen those two bands together. I heard when they were touring. I really wanted to go. Awesome.
Yeah, it was right when Sounds of the Counterculture came out, and I remember them playing some of the songs and just like, fuck, these guys are so sick. How are they playing this place, you know? Mm-hmm. And like a month later, boom, Swing Life Away came out. And all those tracks came out. They hit it big. But, you know, again, too, we get a lot of festivals out here. So anything from, like, Muzinc, which is a music and tattoo convention. Pennywise.
Yeah, that's gotten big.
Yeah, Pennywise, Bouncing Souls headlined that last year. That was fun. You know, and then last year, the best show festival I've ever been to was It's Not Dead, and that was everybody from everybody that has been in my CD player at some time played that show, and I just remember dude like turning around like, holy shit, that's a UK sub. I totally forgot they were playing here, you know, like and walking by and like, oh, the Briggs are about to go on, let's go see them, and then it's like, fuck, dude, now Strung Out and the fucking the big dogs are coming out. It's just one after another, and you know, it's always a good time when you can kind of. I mean, it was hot. It was 104 out there, and people were not feeling it. I don't mind that kind of heat. You know, it's just I'd rather be super hot than super cold.
Just don't wear a black T-shirt.
A big deal. Well, yeah, no, cut off sleeves. That's when the cut off sleeves come
Sun's
out.
out, guns out.
Sun's out, guns out. Yeah, we had all access passes, so we were able to stash a shitload of beers in the car, and the parking that we were able to find a way out that was all access. Dude, we were like 5 minutes from getting beers every time we wanted to go get beers, so it's like perfect. Didn't have to spend any money.
That's nice.
Yeah, so that's all. That makes for a good festival too. When you're a good friend, ship breaks your way, so you're all of a sudden you're backstage, and then you're just watching some of your favorite bands from like the stage left. It's just fucking insane, man. We're lucky out here.
Yeah. See, I mean, I grew up in Pittsburgh, so like that, they still are into like 38 Special and like Bon Jovi coming through. Like that's like
that's big in Chicago, dude. Bon Jovi sells out fucking auditorium. That's just how it is. Yeah, it's the anthem.
But like
baby.
those 80s like hair bands and that Southern rock, like it's like never left Pittsburgh, and it's really hard to find like a good like gig in Pittsburgh. So honestly, like the best shows I've ever gone to have been since I left Pennsylvania, and other than like they do have again the festivals like back when Lollapalooza was going on, and like the Warped Tour. I mean, back in the day, Warped Tour, I mean, it's not Dead Fest, basically, but...
Yeah, it's not the same anymore.
I mean, it's funny, now that I just say it, like, I was thinking the best show I was ever at, it was in Norfolk, Virginia, or Norfolk, however the hell they say it.
Norfolk.
It was Old Man Markley was opening, Anti-Flag, Bouncing Souls, and NoFX. NoFX was the headliner. And it was so cool. Like, Old Man Markley was done, and I'm just walking through the crowd, and Joey Balls just grabs me and he's like, Xander! Gives me a huge hug, and then I'm just hanging out with them, like at the merch booth, watching Anti-Flag, watching Bouncing Souls, and then when NoFX went on, I kind of just stood at the back by the sound booth, and I had my brother there, and a couple of my buddies, and it was a really good time. Like, I mean, those were three good bands that were a lot of fun.
It's funny. There was a festival here that was at Angel Stadium, but it was outside, like along the concourse, which is really weird. And it was a Bamboozle West Festival, which I know the Bamboozle Festival is big, like in Tennessee or wherever the fuck it is. But Bouncing Souls and AFI headlined that show, and dude, I've never seen a pit like that for AFI. I mean, it was seriously about 150 feet deep and just going, dude, like a fucking tornado, like a cyclone,
like a Slayer pit.
Oh, I mean, it just constantly, I mean, nonstop moving. Everybody was cool. I mean, nobody was like fighting or anything, but it was some fucking movement, man. AFI, I mean, they came out there and they brought it, though. They're fucking amazing live.
Yeah. But I would still say, though, the best show that I ever really was at would have been the first Warped Tour in Pittsburgh. I mean, it was...
96 was my first Warped Tour, my senior year of high school in Chicago.
So then that might have been the same year, the first one. Was that the first one?
No Effects, and obviously Fishbone, Goldfinger,
Pennywise was the headliner.
Yeah, yep. Pennywise was absolutely.
I mean, I told the story before about my little brother getting pulled up on stage. He was like 14, singing Stand By Me. Mm-hmm. And then Jim gave him a beer, and he pounded it and jumped into the crowd. But then even afterwards, like, we went back, walking backstage. There's no backstage, it's just a parking lot. We're just walking past the buses, and Pennywise is cooking out. NoFX is there. We're like hanging out eating hot dogs with them. It was like, but like I just remember like watching Rancid, and then as soon as Rancid was done, because they had it so perfect, because one band would be on one side playing while the next band's setting up on the other side of the stage, and then there was no waiting. It was just band after band after band, and like NoFX, and I even think I saw like Frenzal Rhomb was on like the third stage, and like, I mean, it was was like the Descendants played Down by Law. I think No Use for a Name was there, I think, and it was just like just a crazy great time, you know, and Face to Face, but shit.
The new Face to Face is pretty good, by the way. The new one from them.
Oh, I haven't heard it yet.
It's pretty damn good, man. It was. I don't know if it's still streaming, but they did have it streaming on their website there.
Yeah, I got. So, I just got the new Pairs. That's pretty good.
Yep, that is a very underrated band. It's very important. Here's how I look at it. It is important for ladies and gentlemen of a certain age, like us, to stay current with bands that are coming out. And as long as you're still finding bands like the Pairs, you know, and things like that, then you remain connected. Because at some point we're going to lose all connection with the scene. So
let me tell you, I agree, and there's actually connection to what you're saying on today's episode. We actually have Nick Woods is going to be calling in. He's lead singer for Direct Hit. They just signed with Fat Records. And I started noticing Fat Records is signing some big name bands that are really good. That there's like this
return to the glory days.
Yeah, it feels to me like it's coming back. I mean, they're getting, they've got the Pairs, Masked Intruder. Direct Hit, I would say, fits into this this realm. Like Elway, like these bands are just they're poppy, they're punk, they're hard. I mean, there's a new wave coming, people. Get with it.
I hope so.
We are on the cutting edge.
Blink-182 derailed my my punk rock love for a few years there. Every band sounded like them. It's just like, oh god, no substance in their music. You know, like I get it, it's poppy, but like, dude, can you go back and listen to like Blink-182 and like not think it's like totally dated and immature?
The other day on it's on one of those radio stations that plays like every kind of music. Blink-182 came on. I had the girls in the car. And it was, what's that, All the Small Things? Is that the name of the song? Yeah. And I was like, holy shit. I like looked at Rachel. I'm like, what year is this? And then my girls are like, who is this? I'm like, it's Blink-182. And they're like, okay. I'm like, yes. I'm so worried you were going to love them. I'd rather listen to your bullshit on the hot FM that you like, or listen to Blink-182 again. Go through that phase.
Yeah, they're back with. I know they're back with Skiba, and then I heard that Tom actually rejoined them again. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if that was a April Fool's thing. Either way, I'm not going to fucking see him. I never liked him, but Skiba's in there all of a sudden. It's like, okay, cash that check, bro. Do what you got to do.
Yeah, I know they're he had posted something about a show that they're doing coming up. Some festival.
Oh, it'll be huge. It'll be a gigantic tour.
Yeah,
it'll be fucking huge.
I saw Blink-182 once.
They played at Riot Fest a few years ago. They played opposite the Replacements. So needless to say, I didn't see a fucking thing that Blink-182 did because the Replacements are fucking awesome.
I saw Blink-182 at a college frat party in USC when I was in college.
Wow,
that sounds right.
Back in 1982.
Yeah,
I saw them open for Less Than Jake.
Yeah, another band from Gainesville, Florida.
Well, that's how I figured.
When I said Gainesville, Florida, I thought I saw you mouth. Oh yeah, Less Than Jake. Nope. Hot water music. I threw a curveball, baby.
It is baseball season.
Yeah. Cubs tonight, baby.
But let's play some music. Let's play some good music, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about shitty. Since I just mentioned that I saw Blink-182.
All right, you want some good music? We already mentioned Cobra Skulls. One of the best shows I've ever been to is watching the Cobra Skulls. My friends open for them, and my friends and I just standing in the best shows are when you're in the crowd with your friends and just singing every word of the song, just arm in arm, drunken, just singing out as loud as you can. Cobra Skulls with a song called Solastalgia on Punk Rock Footies Radio.
I'm coming down with ego paralysis. I got a case of global dread. So nostalgia, I'm feeling our fears not only in my head. 'Cause I don't believe that anything can be manufactured greed. But I imagine happiness can be more, so much more. times are hard, they will heal.
That was Someday, Not Soon by Much the Same. You're listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio for some reason.
You are. You must be in the wrong spot.
We are talking music today. We just got done with some great shows we've seen. And now, how about some embarrassing shows we've been to, or not so great shows? I guess.
Well, those are two different.
They're two totally different things.
Yeah, because I mean, there can be embarrassing, but you liked it, or there can be like you walk into and like some band plays, like opens for another band. Like that's my story. I'll let you guys go first, but that's how mine's gonna go.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I'm not embarrassed at all about seeing Alkaline Trio. I love
how could you
Alkaline
be?
Trio.
Yeah, no.
I do not think they put on a good show.
They get too drunk. They're
I've
known
seen
for
them-
being too drunk.
I've seen them in small club, and I've seen them in like a pretty big venue.
At Warped
And
Tour,
I just honestly, I feel like I'd rather just put them on shuffle on my iPod. You know, like they just play their songs, which is fine. But when you see them live, I want to get a little something.
well, here's the thing about Alkaline Trio, and a lot of bands are guilty of this. It's not just them, but their vocals are so altered on those records that they don't sound at all live like they do on the records. There is a lot of auto-tune going on with Alkaline Trio. And look, every band is guilty of it. Every band. But I think they're a little more than a lot of bands.
I don't know. They played the songs great. Like I said, it was as if I had just put my iPod on shuffle. There was nothing, no conversation in between songs, nothing like where they do a cover of something that, you know, it was just like listen to the records. So I mean, to me, I expect a little something more when I see a band live that you're not going to get. You know, I mean, if I'm paying, I've already bought your record, and now I'm paying to see you.
Surprise me.
Yeah, I mean, like No Effects, like you said. I mean, they talk in between their songs. They'll like read a book. It's comedy. I mean, I've seen them like 5 or 6 times, sometimes in the same venue, and it's a completely different show. You know,
They're doing a bit, yeah.
Yeah, and I love it. It's great. I'm about to see them again.
Yeah, that last time I saw them was at House of Blues in Chicago, and in between every single song, they were yelling at some guy on the balcony that had a "Don't Mess with Texas" T-shirt on. They were just talking between every song. They were talking shit to this guy. It was so funny.
But yeah, so that I don't know. So Alkaline Trio, I love them. I love their music, but I honestly don't think I'll ever go see them live again.
Man, one of the worst shows I've ever seen, too. It's ironic because the best show I've ever seen is It's Not Dead with Pennywise headlining. Well, one of the worst shows I've ever been to was also a Pennywise show. And it wasn't their fault. It was the Pennywise and Pepper Jägermeister tour that happened like, I don't know, maybe 6-7 years ago. And Pepper opened up for Pennywise. And I'm not big into Pepper, but, dude, they were serving so much Jägermeister that by the time Pennywise came on, everybody was so drunk and so fucking disorderly and like physically like fucking like you know it was a pretty bad scene. Like, you know, people were just
Jaeger will do that. Jaeger will do that.
And it just sucked, man. It totally ruined the show. You know, like there's just guys getting way too fucking aggro. Just man, nothing worse than a crowd that can't behave. That's, you know, out of their core. You know.
Yeah, that's and I'm less and less tolerant of that as I get older. You know, I'm 37 now, approaching 38, and once I pass the age of 30, I have no patience for that kind of shit at all.
Yeah, dude, yeah. I was in the pit, and, you know, I'm trying to get out, and I'm like, you know, put my hands up like I'm trying to get out. Dude, 2 guys grabbed me and threw me back in as hard as they could, and I'm just trying to get out, so I'm like looking beyond them, and they just grab me, and all of a sudden I'm going back. I get thrown on my back, and I get up, and I'm fucking pissed, dude. And I just got a football stance and just fucking ran at him as hard as I could, and elbows out, just ran right through him and just kept walking. But it was just like, I was just so fed up with them. I'm like, dude, this is just too much. And that was the last straw, and I just, not a good scene.
Well, the worst, I can't say it was the worst show because it was a great show, but the worst set I ever saw, and it was one of those unexpected, like, who the fuck is this kind of thing, I want to say about a decade ago, I was with one of my good buddies, Jeremy, who's in Punk Rock Foodies. We went to go see Lagwagon in Milwaukee. We drove to Milwaukee to go see Lagwagon, and they put on a great set. But before they played, there was a band called Yellow Card that came up, and I'd never heard of them. He'd never heard of them. This was before they had their famous songs or whatever they have, and they started to play, and we looked at each other like, this is fucking bullshit. Like, we can't, who's this guy playing a violin? They're doing synchronized jumps and twirls. You know, they made Sum 41 look like fucking the Misfits. You know what I mean? We're like, do we turn our backs to this? Do we do those? Do we be that snobby? And luckily, I mean, well, not luckily, but expectedly, Lagwagon came out later and just dominated, and it was an awesome show. But to this day, we still look back and be like, remember that time we saw that fucking band Yellow Card, and how it almost ruined our fucking lives. That was a bad set. If someone likes Yellow Card, fuck off. Fuck that fucking band.
They're all right, guys.
Tell me what you really think, Brian.
They did a great version of Some No Use for a Name song on the Tony Slade.
Oh, fuck you. You don't think that. That's bullshit. You're just trying to be contrarian. They suck.
Good version! That's what the fuck?
God. You know what I will say, though, is I saw Sum 41 once, dude. I was kind of blown out of the water. They were awesome.
I saw them at Warped Tour, and look, I got no problem with Sum 41. I really don't. I like their songs. The thing about Sum 41 is they are the first band that I saw that I got the feeling I was older than. You know what I mean? Like, up to that point, I was seeing bands like, oh, they're my age or a little young, they're a little older. When I saw them, like, oh, I'm older than these guys. So they're like the line of demarcation for punk rock for me. And again, it's nothing personal with them. Their songs are cool. Their songs are fine. I got no problem with them. That's just they represent kind of the tipping point that all men and women in this scene go through when you're like, oh, I'm on the other side of this now.
Well, I got the topper for most embarrassing.
Okay.
And we had to, Rachel and I chaperoned her sister and her sister's friend. They had tickets to these bands, and the only way that her friend's dad would let her go is if we went with them. So Rachel and I went, and the headlining band, I don't even know if it was a headlining band. I don't know. There was a band called All-Star Weekend. Mm-hmm. It's some, like, I think Disney had something to do with them. And, it was like one of these, like, teeny bopper, like, almost like One Direction type bands. Mm-hmm. But, like, all the bands I played, there were 4 bands, and they were all that kind of music. It was like, all I could think the whole time was like, I could make a fortune by writing a song as long as I put whoa, in the fucking song. Like, yeah. And, like, Rachel knew it was, like, killing me. Like, there was nobody in the men's room. Every time I had to go piss, there was nobody in the men's room. It was, like, all these, like, preteen girls.
Dude.
Just, like,
and you're sitting there like, I hope nobody recognizes me. I hope I don't run into somebody I know here. I'll never live down.
And then, and I don't even get this. I mean, I get it, because what the fuck, they're making money. But they're, like, $9 beers at this place. So, like, it was like, I had over a $90 tab.
And they were probably 10-ounce beers.
I'm just drinking. And they were actually pretty good. They were pretty big size. They might have been like 20 ounces. But still, like, I mean, it was just, that's all I could do. Just, like, drinking and going to the bathroom and dealing with this. Like, I think her sister was, like, 16 at the time. Mm-hmm. And so was her friend. And her dad's a cop, so he didn't want them going down to this club by themselves. It was like, oh my god, it was so painful.
So you're basically the bouncer.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
You're like the bodyguard.
Getting
you
drunk.
are Kevin Costner. She was Whitney Houston, minus the crack.
All-Star Weekend and, like, 3 other bands. And for some reason, I feel like All-Star Weekend wasn't even the headliner. That's just the only name I remember. All
right, well, what is and I'm sure we all have a story like this, I know I do, the inverse of that, where you go to see a band and then there's a band that opens for them that surprises the shit out of you and is awesome, and then you end up getting into that band. I know
I once saw Yellow Card open for
That's kind of how Oh, I saw Atreyu open up for Corrosion to Confirm. No, I'm sure we've all been that. For me, it was when I was very young, and I'm not trying to act like I'm too cool, but I saw the Offspring, and I know I've talked about it before, and the Vandals opened for them. And it was the first time I'd heard of the Vandals, and I was a kid. I'm 17. I'm living outside Chicago. I'm nowhere near Southern California. I've never heard of the fucking Vandals. And they were so amazing, and I bought their CD, and that was kind of like the kickoff for me. Like, oh yeah,
the Vandals will transform a person.
Oh my god, especially in 1996. 1996 Vandals, Live Fast Diarrhea, that was their album at the time. Live Fast Diarrhea to me is a transcendent punk rock album. And that was it for me. Like, I saw them and I was like, oh, it can be like this. This is how this can be. You know, I can get on to this. For me, it was the Vandals in 96, opening for the Offspring.
Yeah, you know the Bad Religion Live at the Palladium show?
Absolutely, I got it on DVD.
I was at that show, and the bands that opened up...
You suck.
Yeah. The bands that opened up that night were TSOL was Direct Support, and before that, a little band called Rise Against played. And that was the first time I seen
because Tim was in the interview on the DVD.
Yep. Yeah. So that was fucking cool. And then another one that was just they later became my homies. I went to see Strung Out, this place that's now no longer there in Redondo Beach. It's a little underground club. And the Darlings opened up, and dude, I was tripping on them. They completely rocked the place, and it was just really cool seeing them. And then, then seeing Strung Out afterwards. But the Darlings really blew me away the first time I seen them.
I saw a band from New Jersey called River City Extension open for Alkaline Trio. And what blew me away was it's a small club. Like, the stage was like just big enough for Alkaline Trio to be on. This band had like 8 members, and they were like just crammed on this stage.
It's like a Guar show.
It was like one of those hipster bands, where like they got like a guy playing the French horn and a bongo player.
There's a harmonica and an accordion.
Two banjo guys, dual banjo guys.
Yeah, it was one of those bands. But they were really good. Like, the lead singer had a really great voice, and the songs were really good. I ended up buying the CD, and I fell in love with it. And then they've put out another record since then, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's definitely one you got to be in a mood for. It's not, like I said, it's a hipster band, so they've got every little instrument. But I like them. I mean, I never would have heard of them if I hadn't seen them open for Alkaline Trio. So
that's why you show up early for the show. If you can do it, you do it, and you support the bands. And if they suck, you let them know. But if they're awesome, then you remember that and you tell your friends. That's how this all works now, especially in 2016.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. There was one show I went to, the Roxy, and Authority Zero was a headliner, and Poor Habit was direct support. And I kind of knew Poor Habit, but nothing could have prepared me for their freaking live show, dude. I mean, dude, the drummer for Poor Habit.
That drummer's insane.
Dude, he's a blur, dude. I mean, like, you're watching him, you're just like, dude, how is he moving that fast? I mean, fuck, they absolutely crushed it. I saw some video from, they played with Authority Zero again this past week, and I saw some video from their show, and it looks like they're back, and I'm really excited. I hope they have some new material coming soon.
It's fun when you can go to a show and you discover a new band and you're like, okay, this is something cool. I'm gonna follow up, and you make a mental note like, I'm gonna follow up on this band. A couple bands in recent years. About a year ago, I saw Propaganda in Chicago, and there was a band opening for them from Washington called Reviver. They're spelled in a very strange way, but that is a fucking amazing band. And then there's another band called Lipstick Homicide that I saw open up for some friends of mine one time, and it's just a couple of girls and this guy who plays drums for them, and they're basically like these kids that just do awesome fucking songs. So if anyone's listening out here, Reviver and Lipstick Homicide, those are 2 bands to look out for. They're never going to be famous, but if you can catch their live shows, you will thank me.
I had the same feeling when I saw Radke open up for Rise Against.
Radke, yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was really. I was like, whoa, these guys sound way bigger than they are. There's 3
Those guys are going to be huge. That's a band that will be big.
They will be a big band. They got an amazing sound. They're all talented guys, and
they're all related.
I know. I wish nothing but the best for them. Maybe we can get them on a show one day.
They're 3 brothers in more ways than one.
Yes, they are, man.
And that guy sounds like
Glenn Danzig. He is. Like, who knew that Danzig was now a young black kid?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well,
I knew that.
Radkey is fucking awesome. Yeah, Radkey's awesome. I love Radkey. I can't believe no one brought him up before this. So good on you, Steve.
You played him before.
Yeah, Brian played him a while back.
Yeah.
Have we?
Yeah.
You were drunk.
Yeah.
Go figure.
I
was drinking.
You made that.
Wait a
joke
minute! Whoa!
about
Wait a
them
minute! Wait!
being
I
brothers
played him
with
before.
others.
I played him before.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I have
You
no
even-
memory of that.
You even made the joke. They're brothers in more ways than once last time too.
Wow! I'll probably do it again then. I tend to repeat myself.
Deja vu moment.
Yeah. Whoa. Man, that was weird. I just was traveled in time right there. Yeah, I'll probably do it again.
Either you don't have enough beer in your system now, or you had a lot of beer in your system then. I'm not sure.
Oh, check back with me tonight around 9 p.m. Central Time when the Cubs kick off their season. I'll be loaded. I'll be sending messages to our ex show member Kevin Wells, telling him how much he sucks.
Are they playing the Cubs? The Angels?
No, but I just like to tell him that the Dodgers fucking suck.
Oh no, I'm just asking because the Angels.
They're playing the Angels.
Yeah.
They're in Anaheim, so it's gonna be 9 o'clock out here when they're playing.
Yeah,
So,
I can see the big A from my sidewalk. It's like
I used to drive. I remember that was one of the things I remember about living in California was driving by the stadium.
yeah.
I remember it very distinctly.
The old school Big A is just still looks like it's out of the 70s.
Back when it was the
Great.
California Angels, not the LA Angels of Anaheim, whatever Irvine bullshit.
Dude, I saw somebody rocking the V-neck jersey from like the 80s. He was wearing a Bobby Grinch jersey. Oh, dude, that was
Oh my
awesome.
god. Jeez. It's like the old brown Padres uniforms.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the shit brown.
Did
Yeah,
that
dude.
work?
Yellow.
Is that when they had the painter hat too? Is that the
Yeah. It was like around the same time that the Chicago White Sox, there was one season where they wore shorts. like you gotta Google it, but like I think it was only at home, but their uniform that year was actually shorts. They looked so
Well, it
ridiculous.
gets warm in Chicago.
Yeah, I mean it does, but I mean, what are you doing? Like, what are you gonna slide into second like with shorts on? You know, it's such a
Is
bad
it like
idea.
bar league softball?
Yeah, dude, for real.
There's a keg in second. It's awesome.
Yeah, pretty much.
Speaking of opening acts, we have coming up here after this break is Nick Woods of Direct Hit. They're actually opening for No Effects on the Hepatitis Bathtub Tour that's going on right now. So we're going to send it off. Steve, you got a song for us? We'll send it off and come back with Nick.
Yeah, I'll just talk about No Effects. I need to go see them again soon. They're one of the best bands to see live.
Here's
Here
the
it is.
decline.
No, man. Seeing double at the Triple Rock. You know it, baby.
Yeah.
Pump Up Foodies Radio. Let's go.
whispers in a shot glass till our sorrows are just whispers in a shot glass.
And that was Elway with Whispers in a Shot Glass, and you are listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio. And on the phone with us now is frontman for a Direct Hit, Mr. Nick Woods. Nick, how you doing?
Woo! I'm good. How's it going with you, dude?
We're good. There's a lot of people probably don't know Direct Hit. I mean, you're not that new of a band, but you've been I guess I would say a smaller name band, but now that you are newly signed with Fat Records, I'm sure the name will get out there a lot more. But could you give us a little rundown of like the history of the band, how it started, and whatnot?
Sure. I was playing in an old band back in college, and I had a bunch of songs written that they didn't really want to play. So I coached our drummer from that group and got my friend Jackson, also known as Officer Bradford from Massachusetts, as a matter of fact, to play bass for me and to play those songs that I had written that kind of didn't work out with my old band. So it kind of just went from there, man. It's always just been me, basically, up until a few years ago. Just kind of with whoever would play with me at the time and whoever could put up with me in my dumb songs. But Danny joined in 2009 after, I think, drummer number 3 that we had gone through. Steve joined the band in 2013 after tons and tons of bass players. And Devin joined the band, I would say, 2009, I think, 2010, somewhere in there. So the lineup that we've had ever since Steve joined has remained pretty consistent. So we've basically been the same band for about 3 years now, coming up on 3 years. The band Direct Hit has existed since about 2007. But the lineup that everybody kind of knows and who's putting on all of our good recordings, I feel like, and stuff like that, we've been together for about 3 years. So I don't know what else you want to learn beyond that, but that's kind of what we do. So.
Well, and then you guys, you would put out like 7 inches or little like singles, like repeated.
Yeah. When we started, we were just putting EPs up on the internet. I never really started the band with the hope that it was going to turn into kind of what it has now at this point. With relative to a lot of other bands, it's not all that huge or ridiculous. But I guess in terms of like when I planned for it or something like that, it's definitely kind of gotten a little bit out of hand. But yeah, we used to record more songs and put them up on the internet and just number them. And eventually we kind of took, sorry, there's a phone right in the background, it's distracting me. But eventually what we did was we just kind of took all the best songs from all those EPs and made them into our first LP, which we put out in 2010, 2011. And then once that was done, we kind of really didn't know what to do with ourselves. And so before that, we put out a couple of 7 inches with our friends, and we kept doing that. Eventually, we did the whole Brain Was God thing, which came out a couple of years after that. So that's kind of where it's gone from there. We used to say that we release music like comic books. We don't really do that anymore, though.
Right. So you've been touring, or you have toured. What are some of the places or other bands that you've toured with?
Oh, man. We've been to Europe 3 or 4 times now to tour over there. We've been to the UK same number of times. I think we've hit almost every state in the U.S. at this point in some way or another. We haven't done like far northeast yet, like Maine or Vermont or New Hampshire. But we played in Wyoming. We played, if you name the state, we probably played there. So we did a really good tour back in 2013 that lasted 5 or 6 weeks. We did a month in Europe right after that. You name the place, we've been there. We still have to hit up Japan and South America and Hawaii and Alaska and kind of those far-flung regions of the world, but that's kind of what we're hoping to be able to do now that we have this bad thing going on. So that's pretty much the biggest reason why it is that we still keep doing what we're doing, is it just gives us a way to see the world and meet new people and have fun, party in different places and not have to clean up the mess after we're done.
So you did just recently sign with Fat Records. What was that like? Like, is it like you're talking with Fat Mike and he says, "Hey, we want to do your next album"? You get over a couple of beers, you say okay, or like, is there more to it?
Man, we took the most sellout route possible. We have a manager who fucking worked it out for us. Our manager Ben, who's a good friend of mine, used to manage Squeaky Weasel before all of that nonsense kind of went down, and South by Southwest a few years ago. And so he knew everybody over at Fat. I guess that they'd known about us for a while and had been listening to our music, and that's pretty much the way that it went. So, and our new record and stuff. I like to think that's a big reason why it is that they got into the new stuff. But yeah, I mean, I've talked to everybody over there a few times so far, but definitely looking forward to getting to know them a little bit better. There hasn't been a whole lot of partying or anything like that yet. So.
Well, and you guys are going to be touring with NoFX on the Hepatitis Bathtub tour coming up here.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, in April.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're stoked about that. It'll be fun.
So, while in your travels with the band, is there any place that you would consider that had some of the best food that you would love to go back to get more of?
Oh, man. You know, my favorite food whenever we're on tour that I don't get to eat a lot when I'm at home is Turkish doner, especially in Germany. It's really good up in the UK too, but you know, I've read about that, and I mean, you can get it pretty much all over Europe. I don't know if you've been over to Europe or had it before. It's like Euros, except like way better. It's so good. Like my favorite late night food in the world. And so I mean, that's probably my favorite kind of thing that I can nab when I'm not at home. I mean, I live in the Midwest, so it's really tough getting really good fresh seafood around here too. So usually when I'm out on the coast, I'll hammer down oysters or steam pot or something like that. So, but definitely, I mean, in terms of something that I always eat a shitload of whenever I'm gone, Turkish doner is definitely the place to go. Yeah, I get it in Berlin. The best in Berlin. And I eat it like super American style with just meat and onion and tzatziki poured all over the top of it. And I get the chicken every time. Chicken, I think, is just so fucking good. It's so awesome. So, and I've tried figuring out ways to open like a stand in Milwaukee or something like that, but I can't find like the right sources. And it weirds me out that you can get it over in Europe, but you can't get it over here. And so there has to be some reason why it is that people don't import, and I can't figure out why that is. But if I had a choice, if I could open a food stand somewhere in the States, that's definitely what I would choose. So it's my favorite late night food for sure, and I can't get it at all when I'm here. It's a super bummer.
So when you are at home, do you do any cooking yourself?
Oh yeah, my wife and I cook often. I cooked gumbo a couple nights ago. I've never done that before, which is cool. Lots of soups and stews. That's usually what I'm really into, because I can do it with one pot and that's too much mess. I grill out a lot too, but that's always a pain in the ass. Definitely to grill out and stuff like that. So usually I do stuff like do gumbo. I do we make ramen from time to time too, like 12-hour ramen with everything layered in. I'm trying to think what else I do. I like chicken and dumplings a lot. I cook a lot of shit, man. I really like doing it, and I really like to eat. So that's usually the less expensive way to make really good food, is just to do it by yourself and use fresh ingredients and stuff like that, and not have to go out and spend a ton of money at a restaurant or something.
Absolutely. So, and then you can tweak it how you like. Oh, I cook.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What do you cook?
Anything. I grew up Italian. I mean, I'm still Italian, but I grew up in an Italian household.
Risotto? I've never been able to make decent risotto that doesn't taste like roast porridge.
I've never made risotto. Never attempted it. Mainly because I think it's watching Gordon Ramsay yell at people for fucking up the risotto on Hell's Kitchen. So.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. If you want to talk about worst beer food, that would probably be up there for us. We had risotto when we were in Italy one time. That was just, it was like eating cake. It was so wild. Like, you know how you have like memories of like really good meals that you've gotten before, like just stuff that's kind of circumstantial that, like, even though it might not be like gourmet or something like that, just the circumstances were right that it was just incredible.
Yeah.
Well, that's like the exact opposite. we had risotto at this place in Italy, and it's like the worst food I've ever eaten in my whole life. So I've never had really, really super good risotto. So I'm always trying to find somebody who knows how to do it right or where to get it or something like that, so I can actually taste what all the hype's all about.
Right.
So I've never had a chance. Yeah.
Well, next time you cook something, take a picture, post it on Punk Rock Foodies on Facebook. That'd be, we'd really love to see it.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
So, you have songs ready to go for a new album, or that now that you've signed with Fat, or are you still just in the
They're
process?
all mixed and ready to go. They just have to get masters. So.
Cool.
They're just kind of sitting around waiting until we get all of our ducks in a row with touring and stuff like that this summer. So.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to the new album. I really enjoy the last one, the Brainless God album. It's really great. And that was that was on Red Scare.
Yep, that's right. We've done 4 records on Red Scare right now, or at this point. 2 7-inches. And then a singles compilation that we did earlier this year, and plus Brainless God. So 2 LPs and 2 EPs.
It seems like Red Scare is like the minor league team for Fat. It's like there's always bands coming out of Red Scare that then get signed to Fat Records. Is that?
Yeah. That seems to be the way that people look at it a lot. I think Red Scare's a really good label on its own, though. So I don't like to look at it as like a beer label or something like that. But I mean, the copyright system was signed for Red Scare for, I don't know how many years. And that band's one of my favorite bands. I mean, they sign new groups all the time. They go off and do different stuff, too. I mean, they had the Menzingers for a while who ended up on Epitaph, Sidekicks, too. So, I think Red Scare holds its own. I don't think it's a matter of saying that it's like a minor league or something like that.
Right, no, I didn't want to...
They do a really good job.
Yeah, I didn't want to diminish what Red Scare does. It just seems that there's all these bands on Red Scare, and then they go and sign with Fat. It's just,
Toby picks incredible bands to rep. I think that's the biggest reason why. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, if there's anything else you want to add, I mean, you got your tour coming up here. Direct Hit will be touring with No Effects here in April. So if you have a chance to go see them, go see them. Anything else that you'd like to add?
No, I'm good, man. Keep eating.
Okay, well, we're going to set it off here with a Direct Hit song off of Brainless God. This is Buried Alive on Punk Rock Foodies Radio.
He's got a carcass in the basement, and it's high time he found a replacement. It'll be just like a first date, but better. It's the furthest that he's been from a careful process for a quick completion, 'cause the bomb's just a couple clicks from his suburb. So he doesn't have to please her, just apply kitchen towel soaked with ether and sit her upright in the last part she'll ride in. Drag her inside, throwing duct tape under his arm like a baby or a pound cake. Set the knives out, put the IV inside her. And it's gone on and on and on and on.
All right, I'd like to thank Steve, Brian, and Skate Rat, even though she couldn't be here. I'd like to thank Nick Woods of Direct Hit. Direct Hit on tour. Go check them out. They're opening for No Effects. Check out new album coming soon on Fat Records. I'd like to thank the people at the Vicious Pig Saloon here in downtown Mattersville, always treating us well. If you need any graphic design work or video needs, check out Burning Rose Studios. Also, check out Betty Gear on Facebook, and come on over to Punk Rock Foodies. Make food, post a pic, that's simple. Bone Ape Tin, everyone.
Who knew that every single person at the punk show knew every word to Take On Me? It was fucking sweet.